Hey, hey, hey. I always feel like I want to rap. Hey, hey, hey. All right. All right, y'all. Welcome on back. It's your girl, Natural Legalista, aka Kyla Coleman, which is my actual legal name, guys. Welcome to my zone where we're breaking down stories from the headlines with a twist, which is typically humor and gossip. We gossiping today, y'all. Today's topic is Terrence's terrible troubles. We're going to talk about Terrence Howard. So before we jump into the story, you guys know that I like to give self-care tips. I'm heavy on the self-care. And today my tip is to stay hydrated. So we are in a pandemic still. And although people might not believe it, we're still in it. And our brains function better when we are hydrated. When we got enough in our system, we make wiser decisions. We can function better. Also, if you've been crying a lot like me, just watching Netflix shows and getting my emotions up, if you cry, you need to hydrate so you can replace your tears. Anywho, so now we're going to jump on in. I want to introduce my first guest, or my only guest of this podcast today. It is Jaylen Christie. This is my friend. Say hey, Jay.
Hey.
Wave to the people. Thank you so much for joining me today. So Jay is a public relations account supervisor. He is well skilled in public relations, and he's built a great career off helping others look good. And you look good today yourself, too.
Thank you.
All right, so y'all, Jay sent over a bio, and I'm going to have to put on my lawyer voice because it's a lot of stuff in this bio. I'm going to try to read it like I have a decent education that I'm paying student loans for.
Too much.
It's like 2 pages, 3 pages long.
Oh, man, it's not, but it's so many big words in here.
Oh, stop.
It's like, I really got to use my enunciation skills here. Okay.
Oh, my gosh.
So Jaylen Christie is an award-winning public relations practitioner, leading strategic communications planning and overseeing day-to-day execution of ongoing publicity initiatives that generate media coverage for clients. See what I'm talking about? That was just one sentence, and it was a lot of big words.
Oh,
okay.
my gosh.
As a communications professional, he has contributed thought leadership pieces to industry publications, including Small Biz Daily, PR Daily, PR News, PR Week, Home Business Magazine, The Griot, and Blavity. Is that how you pronounce it? I've always wondered.
You pronounced it correctly.
Blavity.
Yeah.
Yo, those are big deals. Jay, you my friend, and you was out here doing
Oh, my
this.
gosh, stop it. Stop.
We got a superstar right here.
Right.
No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't.
I don't even feel like I need to sit next to you.
Stop it,
I'm about
stop
to
it.
scoot over.
Stop it.
So also, this is the last sentence of it, y'all. It's a lot. His topics deal with diversity and inclusion, race, crisis communications, and nerd culture.
Because I'm a nerd.
You know, me and Jay went to high school together, and you always been that way.
Yeah.
You a cool nerd, though.
Oh, thank
I
you.
give you that.
So who is your? We were talking about superheroes earlier, but off air. Who's your superhero? Who's your favorite one?
The Flash.
The Flash,
But
really?
the Barry Allen version, not the Wally West version.
Okay, so that's a TV show, right?
Yeah. So
Okay.
so the TV show is actually not good.
Okay.
Season 1 was good.
Okay.
All subsequent seasons were not good. But if you follow Barry Allen's version of the Flash in the current comic book series,
Yeah.
that's the Flash that I go
See,
with.
this is the nerd stuff.
Kyle,
I'm
you don't
talking
follow
about.
any of that, right?
No, I don't.
Do you even like a superhero? Can you name 3? Do you even
what's
know who the Flash is?
I only know who the Flash is because I feel like Jay has liked him for the longest time. I low-key feel like he used to talk about him in high school. But
did.
my one superhero that I don't know if it counts, but it's one of the Wayans brothers. It's that movie.
You talking about Handyman?
Blank Man.
Oh, Blank
Blank
Man.
Man?
Yeah,
Oh,
I like
my.
him.
Wow.
And his
Okay.
sidekick.
Wow. Other guy?
Yeah. Y'all not about to judge. You know
That
what?
is
Yeah, what are we doing right now?
Okay.
What are we?
I
Yeah.
feel judged.
wow. That's a very
Oh,
rare
man.
rare one there.
That is a rarity.
Y'all not about to use those
It-
words.
It's unique. It's unique. It's different.
You know what? Let me make it through this last sentence of your elongated curriculum vitae here.
Oh my. Quite a big word.
Last sentence for real this time. You have been recognized by Black Enterprise Magazine as a 2019 Modern Man of Distinction. Wow. You are a recipient of the Orlando Business Journal's 40 Under 40 accolade, and you were awarded the Diversity Leader Award by PR News in 2021. Jay, bro.
God is good.
All
God
the
is good.
time.
God is good.
All
God
the
is good.
time.
God is good.
My gosh.
Although I must say that the individuals that were nominated, they must not have had like a big choice of people to choose from if they ended up choosing me.
Jay,
so.
you are
Oh,
awesome.
don't say that now.
Right.
Nah, man.
Right.
Talk
Nah.
that stuff, man. You good.
You
I appreciate
good.
that. Thank you.
And you've always been this way with this, which is crazy because you go to high school with people and you're like, I don't know what that person gonna turn out to be like.
Oh,
Yeah, you're good.
thank you. Well, the same could be said about yourself. So
Speak
I'm
more.
Happy to
Speak
be
more.
very happy to be here today. So thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, sir. All right. Well, is there anything outside of the long curriculum vitae that I've read or
gosh.
the introduction that I tried to give that was inferior to your
Nope,
bio?
you're good. You're good. You're good.
Okay. Did you tell us who your favorite superhero was though? Because me, so Blank Man for me, Flash for Jay.
For me.
Oh man, I have so many. Probably the Hulk.
The Hulk.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right now.
That's the green one.
Yes. See,
Oh,
you know.
Was that a
God.
wrestler too?
Oh my God.
I swear.
That's Hulk
That's
Hogan.
Hulk Hogan.
Okay, so they related.
Ooh, Lord have mercy.
They're
Okay.
you know what? Let's
She's
just move
trying.
on because
She's
y'all not
trying.
about
She's
to do
trying.
me.
She's trying.
If I had a womp womp sound, I would play it.
Womp womp.
So now you do soundtracks too.
Womp womp.
Okay, you know what? We're gonna move on because the Hulk and Hulk Hogan are related. I know that much. They are.
Okay.
All right, so we said we're going to be talking about Terrence Howard today. Today is going to be more of a gossipy session.
Right.
Mainly because I feel like the little that I do know about PR is that y'all try to clean up gossip and rumors and create a good image for people. Is that correct?
That is an aspect of public relations. That's reputation management. So,
Oh,
yes.
okay. So it has a name.
It's a term.
It's term. Yeah, it's term. Yeah.
Reputation management.
The more you know.
See, you smart.
Oh, stop it.
That's that FAMU education.
Hey, Florida A&M University. Yes.
All right, Tallahassee.
What we do.
All right, so Terrence Howard, what I've learned of him recently is that he has been considered a womanizer.
My.
He has a history of domestic violence. Did you know that?
And this is news to me.
Okay. Which is why I wanted to bring it to your attention because he has a PR person that obviously has done a great job because we didn't know that.
Okay.
But he's still a star in the midst of all of that. So we're going to go through some facts about Mr. Howard. And Jay, the way I work on this podcast is you just jump in whenever you feel like it because my producer's always jumping in too. So
I
you
love
jump
it.
in when he jumps in.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about some of the work that Terrence Howard is known for. First of all, did you ever watch Jackson 5 American Dream?
Yes, he played. Was he Jackie?
He was Jackie.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. We also know Terrence Howard from Empire. Did I include just a picture of Terrence Howard? Or was he always with somebody else in the pictures?
He's always with someone else.
All right. Well, we already know what Terrence Howard looks like. So Empire, Jackson 5 American Dream, The Best Man.
Yes.
Which is actually a good franchise. Hustle and Flow. You know, it's hard out here for a pimp.
That's right. Yep.
And then a movie called Crash. I remember that a while ago.
With Sandra Bullock.
Yeah, because
I think that came out 2005, 2004.
that sounds right. Because it was dealing with like race relations and things
Absolutely.
like that.
Yep.
So he's starring some pretty good movies.
Right.
Did you know he had been married 5 times?
Oh.
5.
Okay.
5 times. 2 of the women he married twice.
Okay.
So he's had 3. What's the math? 4.
3 weddings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Okay.
I'm not good at math.
Quite a few times.
I went to law school, not math school.
It's okay. It's
Okay.
All right. Mm-hmm.
He's also been arrested for domestic violence in 3 of those 4 marriages.
Okay.
He's had 2 restraining orders placed on him by a previous wife. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yikes.
It's alleged that he has punched, stalked, and threatened to kill women.
Punched? Okay. And with a fist.
With a closed fist, a closed hand.
Oh,
Yeah.
yikes.
So we're
Yikes.
looking at, I believe that's wife number 1 right there. So let's jump to wife number 1. Her name is Lori. So they were married from 1989 to 2003. And this happens to be one of the ones that he remarried to. They were married again from 2005 to 2007.
So was he
His longest marriage.
his longest marriage?
Yes, the longest marriage so far.
Was he abusing her when they were first married?
Yeah, well, let's talk about it. So he admitted to slapping her in front of the children.
Okay.
And his quote was that he said, she was talking to me real strong and I lost my mind and slapped her in front of the kids.
Okay.
And the reason why I'm bringing this story to you today about Terrence Howard is because I had no clue that all of this stuff was going on behind the scenes. And so since you do PR and you mentioned that, what is it called?
Reputation management.
Reputation management. Obviously, his PR agent has done a great job with that. Because you didn't know that information,
I
did
had
you?
no idea. No.
Producer, did you know that too?
Mm-mm.
All right.
Didn't know that either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This first wife had filed a police report too. And she said that he punched her twice.
Wow.
So yeah, craziness.
Yet she went back to him.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's very interesting.
It's a different dynamic, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then let's talk about wife number 2, which is Michelle.
Okay.
This one, Michelle here, he has a type, doesn't
He
he?
does have a type.
They
Yeah.
Oh
look
my
the
God.
same.
Yeah. Well, let me make sure that.
Is that the same? That's not the same woman, is it?
Oh no, next picture.
Okay.
But he still has a type.
Still has a type. Okay.
Okay, well, the next picture is she's got.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh.
This is Michelle
oh,
here.
That's Michelle.
Yes,
That's-
they got into an altercation allegedly in Costa Rica. This is the one that filed 2 restraining orders on him.
Okay. That's a black eye.
That's a black guy. That
Mhm.
happened in Costa Rica. She also had a lawsuit against him as well.
Wow.
With this person, he didn't have any children with her.
Okay.
But she was the one that brought things to light. Actually, I think we have a clip on that.
Yep. The bully one?
Yeah, you know what? Let's back up for a sec. Let's show the bully clip, and then we'll go into the second video. I think it's like 45 seconds.
Heated Howard to, quote, cool his jets. And on another occasion, a judge even called him a bully. A television executive told the New York Post, Terrence has this reputation for being a hothead. A former associate of Howard added, I don't think anger issues quite cover it. Terrence has to be in control of everything, all the time. When he doesn't get his way, he loses his very easily. In 1997, people reported Howard was accused of assaulting a Continental Airlines flight attendant who attempted to return him to his seat when the seatbelt light came on. Charges were dismissed due to lack of jurisdiction, and Howard later denied the claims entirely and said he was just trying to take his daughter to the bathroom. In 2005, Howard pleaded guilty to disorderly conduct after allegedly attacking a man and a woman at a Philadelphia restaurant. The woman reportedly accused Howard of cutting the line. Howard insisted to Rolling Stone that he wasn't even in the line and was just checking to see what the wait time was, and he was acting in self-defense. Howard even has beef with multiplication tables. The actor is convinced that 1 times 1 equals 2, not 1. He told Rolling Stone, this is the last century that our children will ever have to be taught that 1 times 1 is 1. They won't have to grow up in ignorance. 20 years from now, they'll know that 1 times 1 equals 2. We're about to show a new truth, the true universal math. Howard said he left the Pratt Institute in college after arguing with a professor about this very theory. He explained, how can it equal 1? If 1 times 1 equals 1, that means that 2 is of no value because 1 times itself has no effect. 1 times 1 equals 2 because the square root of 4 is 2. So what's the square root of 2? Should be 1, but we're told it's 2. And that cannot be. I mean, you can't conform when you know innately that something is wrong.
So if you can prove that an action times an action equals a reaction, which science proves, then 1 times 1 must equal more than 1.
Howard's reputation may have preceded him when he got a bit too big for his supporting role Breaches during negotiations for Iron Man 2, which led to the role being recast to Don Cheadle. Entertainment Weekly reported that the issue was cash. Howard was the first actor to sign Iron Man and was paid $3.5 million for the movie, which was more than the star Robert Downey Jr. When it came time to film Iron Man 2, a source said the producers weren't thrilled with Howard's performance in the original, leading to reshoots and cutting of Howard's scenes. Upon learning that the role in Iron Man 2 would be reduced, producers lowered their offer to Howard, giving him a 50 to 80% pay cut, which his agents rejected. Howard later told Rolling Stone that he actually took a $1 million pay cut to get Downey cast in the Marvel hit, something Downey and producers denied, but something Howard took to heart when Iron Man 2 came around. He said, I called Robbie at least 17 times that day and 21 the next, and finally left a message saying, look man, I need the help that I gave you. Never heard from him. And guess who got the millions I was supposed to get? He got the whole franchise, so I've actually given him $100 million, which ends up being a $100 million loss for me from me trying to look after somebody.
Am I going to come back and do
I'm good on that.
Wow.
So he's a bully and a mathematician.
And conceited.
And conceited.
Yeah.
Man.
Egocentric.
First of all, I know I suck at math, but I don't think I'm that bad. I don't think I'm that bad. So, I wanted to ask you this, Jay. Have you ever had a client that had like a bad reputation when they came to you and you had to clean it up?
Ooh, that's a good question,
give me
Kyla.
juicy stuff.
Man, it's juicy.
Yes.
Bad client. I don't think that I've had a client that's had a bad reputation externally, which means that the individuals that may have seen this company might have viewed them as like the place to work, one of the best places to work, or wanted to affiliate themselves with the company. But I have had a client that has had internal communications issues, specifically dealing with employees that are African American, that feel that they have been mistreated. So I was called in to help them, fix that situation, so to speak. So nothing in terms of that wouldn't be reputation management. That would be an internal crisis communication plan that would need to take place.
Yo, the words that y'all use in your profession, internal crisis, like that just
business.
Yeah.
So I have a question. So as a PR person, what kind of research do you do when you first meet the client? Like, because you guys got to be on your stuff too.
Yeah.
Like, do you recognize patterns, or do you check their social media? Like, what's on your checklist before you say, okay, you're good?
Absolutely. Okay, so I'll tell you this. So when it comes to public relations, we use the model, which is referred to as RPI. So that is research, planning, implementation, and evaluation. All right. So whenever I receive a client, or whenever there's a potential client, someone that comes to me and says, well, we need help with public relations, or we need help with marketing. All right. What I will do is I'll look at what they have been able to do for themselves thus far, because sometimes when I get individuals that come to me and say that they may need help with PR, they really don't need help with PR. Their PR is fine. They just might need help with advertising, or they might need help with marketing, or they may need help with social media. So it might not necessarily be a public relations issue. In the event that it is a public relations issue, then yes, I will look at what it is that they're trying to accomplish. I will present to them a list of questions. First, I'll identify who it is that they're trying to go after, their target audience, and then we'll put together a communication strategy to target that specific audience, so they're able to get their word out there, their brand out there.
That's dope. That's dope. We actually have a clip of Terrence talking about what happened, one of
Sure.
the allegations against one of his wives.
Yeah.
I want you to look at this clip or listen to this clip and tell me if he did a good job, if you think his PR agent did a good job prepping him for this, and also what you might have done differently to prep him for the question he was asked on the red carpet.
Okay.
Terrence Howard's ex-wife, Michelle Gint, is asking a judge for a restraining order against the actor. Gint claimed that the Butler actor physically abused her during an argument in Costa Rica last week, but Howard is denying all allegations. The 44-year-old claimed that during last week's argument, Gint threatened to kill him and his family. The actor also claimed that his ex-wife maced him, his kids, and son-in-law. Michelle and Howard ended their marriage last May, but went on a family trip together last week. Hip Hollywood reached out to the actor's rep and are waiting on word back. For all things entertainment, be sure to subscribe to our
It's the next clip.
The next
But
one?
that set it up. Yeah.
That was a nice setup.
Yeah, for
Okay,
sure.
Okay. All right, let me get it here.
I like how they make things so concise.
All right. Wait 1 second. Pull that one up again.
So fascinating to me. I never even knew this existed.
I know. I need to know who his PR person
Who
is.
is the PR person?
But we should have known he was crazy with the characters he's been playing.
He plays them a little too well.
All right, here we go.
So I understand you want to set the record straight about some things in the news about your ex-wife talking about you and accusations of beating and stuff. And there's two sides to every story.
Yeah, well, it's heartbreaking because, there's a story about someone that picked up a viper that was frozen and they put it close to their chest so it can warm up. And the moment that it became warm, it bit them. And it said, "Why did you bite me?" "Well, didn't you know I was a viper?" I've been on a long search of inner engineering for a long time. It's taken a while to get to a place where I can be at peace. And unfortunately, I've tried to help people that's not necessarily in the same enlightened path and trying to help themselves. And she's not well, and I hope that she can get well, but we're divorced now, and she should stay that way. And I just wish the best for her, but as far as me harming somebody, anybody that knows me, I really can't harm a fly. It's completely against my spirit, but I'm so heartbroken that you can see that doing it on a night like this is only for an attempt to try and hurt me, and it's sad. But you have to accept every moment as if you chose that moment. And when you've done the very best you can to avoid a bad situation and it still occurs, then you know that that moment was destined to occur. And you have to stand behind it. And then you grow from it. And you don't affect this moment right now. is a relieving, peaceful moment for me. So I just wish her the best out there, and I hope that everyone else, will find their peace that they need.
So to set the record complete.
Wow.
So that was a bunch of bullshit.
It wasn't it?
That was bullshit at its finest.
Who uses that quote?
Yeah.
Was he referring to himself as the Viper, or was
like he
he
was.
referring to her as the Viper? Because it seemed like he was talking about himself.
Yeah.
Don't you know I'm an asshole?
Yeah. Yeah.
Basically.
Don't keep me close, because I might F you up.
I just
Right.
want to make an observation though, Jay. You look like you were ready to jump out of the chair at one point. Like, yo, you were uncomfortable.
Yeah,
like,
I
this
was
is my
like,
client.
what is this? What is this? That was bullshit. Yeah, that was bullshit.
Thoughts?
So how do you fix that?
Yeah.
Are you standing behind him like, no?
Because I am, as a
Yeah.
lawyer, I'm like, nah,
Yeah,
bruh.
so yeah, if I was his public relations practitioner, and if I was on the opposite side of the camera, then yes, I would have been shaking my head and saying, no, what are you doing? All right. So one thing that I want to say before I dive in, it is important to note that there are two sides to every story. All right.
Okay.
All right. So I will say that. I will say that there are two sides to every story. However, having said that, I do believe that, undoubtedly speaking, Terrence is definitely in the wrong. I mean, if multiple people have said this, yeah, you're in the wrong. I think that when it comes to this kind of crisis, it is important to show both sympathy and empathy. Admit that you were wrong, and then what is the plan to fix it? I don't believe in the term spin. All right. So whenever
Ooh.
I've had a client that has come to me with an issue, and they've said, Jaylen, can you fix this? Or Jaylen, how can we spin this? No. Spin is actually a derogatory term as related to public relations, because
Ooh.
it is not a public relations professional job to spin per se. I believe in being truthful and in being accurate, because what you don't want to do is present a quote or a statement that is not true, that's not factual, because these days there are investigative reporters that will look into that, and if they find that you lied, that's going to create an even bigger crisis. All
And
right?
will.
And will. So if you are a wife beater, if you are a husband beater, what have you, it goes both ways.
Amber Heard.
Chris Brown.
Precisely. Amber Heard. What was that? Aquaman. Johnny Depp.
See y'all talking that language again. I'm sitting here saying Chris Brown.
Nerds. Amber Heard is a completely different story, but yeah, I mean, she was beating Johnny Depp. Yeah, so
Johnny Depp was getting beat up.
yeah, so
She was pooping in his bed and all that stuff.
Excuse me?
yeah.
That is just foul.
Absolutely.
Tyler, where have you
Where have you
been?
been? Where have you
This
been?
is this a real story or is this the
No,
comments?
Yeah,
This is
no,
real.
for real. You
I
know-
had
do you
no
know who Amber Heard
clue.
is?
I have no clue who she is.
Oh, she hasn't really acted in a lot of things, but
What has she acted in? Maybe-
Aquaman.
Aquaman. Have you seen Aquaman?
Come on, guys. Wait, that's the one with Jason, right?
Momoa.
Okay, I know him.
Yeah, she played Mira,
The redhead.
the redhead.
I don't know about her. I know about him.
Okay.
I'll pull a
That
picture
is
up. real-
funny. That is funny. That's so funny. Yeah. So she played Mira in Aquaman. She's like his love interest / assistant. But yeah, she had a tumultuous relationship with Johnny Depp, and she lied on him apparently. So he's kind of been blacklisted.
Excuse me?
He's been blacklisted, which is why he hasn't been starring in a lot of movies as of late.
Even though they know that she lied about
So
things?
yeah, he tried, to defend himself, and they're just now starting to believe him. I think he may have had proof. Don't quote me on that, but he was able to prove that she was in fact doing these things to him behind the scenes. And yep, that's her right there.
Yeah, I don't know her.
That is her. That's her. And there are a lot of people, both men and women, that are calling for her to be removed from Aquaman 2, because they're saying if Johnny Depp had to suffer, if his career had to suffer, then she should be made to suffer as well.
Absolutely. If she is doing something like that, I mean, just as much, what would you call it? Just as much as we hold men to task when it comes to that.
Absolutely.
Wow.
So I have a question too for the both of you guys too,
Sure.
right? For one, is there ever a client that you will not take?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So what's your
Deal breakers.
deal breaker there?
I think that if there is a client that has been doing just horrendous things, or they're severely mistreating their employees, or if they've done something in the community that is just overtly offensive, or just blatantly disrespectful, then no, I'm not going to take you as a client at all.
And the question I have for you too is, you guys communicate, right? When let's say there's something like with Amber Heard or Terrence Howard.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you guys communicate with their attorneys as well?
So it's interesting that you say that, because lawyers and communications practitioners do work hand in hand, especially when it comes to these Fortune 500 companies. So if you have a company like, Disney or Universal or Paramount or what have you, Netflix, Verizon, the vast majority of the time, their communications team works hand in hand with their legal team, especially as related to crisis communication and prevention.
So for me, I mean, to answer the first question, when I was a public defender, I had several cases where I had to represent people that I did not want to represent. People who openly were using the N-word, people who openly did not like black people, prejudices against black people, black women, women in general. So I have...
Did you throw those cases on purpose?
No. Because a part of as much as I would have liked to, part of our profession requires us to represent people who might not be the most savory characters.
You took an oath, right?
I took an oath.
I don't understand that though. If you know that they're, I'm not a lawyer,
because sometimes the job is more so about making sure a person gets a fair trial or a fair shake in the court system, more so than them being not guilty.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But I've had that several times. Now that I'm in private practice, of course I can choose who I want, and I do not take any cases where I feel like a person, kind of like Jay's same standards. If they've done something that's egregious, I'm not. One of the reasons why I left the public defender's office down in Fort Myers where I used to work is because I had to start representing sexual offenders. I cannot. That's not my thing.
Absolutely.
I can't.
Absolutely.
But it's funny that Jay prepares statements or prepares a client to make statements because my theory is always don't talk. If you're going to, I'm going to talk for you. I will talk for you, but you're not going to say anything. So if I did have a client that did want to speak, I probably would consult a person in PR because I don't even know how to prep them for it. Anything that comes out of their mouth can be used in trial. So,
So, I think that Kyla makes a lot of sense, as she always does.
My mama raised me right.
She sure did. Shout out to Carmen.
Hey.
But so sometimes when it comes to corporations, whenever there is a crisis, they're going to want that CEO to speak. All right. So you have to prep the CEO when they go before, the media at a press conference. They're not going, there's usually whenever there's a crisis, there's no one else at a corporation that is qualified to speak. So they're going to be looking for the CEO to make a statement. So that's where, the public relations practitioner comes in to be of assistance. Now, when it's related to celebrities, then if the celebrity themselves don't want to speak, then the public relations practitioner can issue a statement on behalf of the celebrity.
Okay.
But either way, a statement does have to be released because no comment actually is a comment.
Ooh, you are so right. I've only represented a few celebrities.
Yeah.
That is a lot of pressure.
It's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of, but some celebrities actually have, common sense. So they're not trying to do anything stupid. And then other celebrities, such as Terrence.
As we can see.
As we can
see. But shout out to his publicist because public relations practitioner is what I heard you say.
Yeah.
Because I never would have known. Matter of fact, I think that Terrence might be picking certain roles for movies that align with who he is as a person. So it's easier to digest if you hear this information about him.
That could be true.
You think actors do that?
Yeah.
I feel
like in this case, for sure.
Established actors, you got to call a spade a spade.
Kevin Spacey.
Oh, Kevin.
My God, that's about to make my skin crawl.
Kevin's gone.
Yeah, he should be. He always freaked me out.
Did he really?
Yeah, and that movie with Haley Joel Osment, it was like Pay It Forward, I think is the name of it.
I don't know if I remember that one.
Oh, he was a teacher, but he was a burn victim, so he looked disfigured. But he was teaching this little kid how to pay things forward, to do things nice for other people.
Okay.
But even I'm literally
Her
getting
skin's
chills.
crawling.
Yeah,
because I was like, something not right. And when you don't think something's right with a person, but you can't put your finger on it.
You get those vibes.
Yeah, and then when that happened, like when things became, because he was sleeping with minors, or it was something that was crazy about Kevin Spacey.
He was sleeping with men underage.
And we'll say alleged. We'll throw that on there just in case nothing's been resolved.
Yeah,
but
that
was like, okay, now I know that was probably what it was in my spirit. I'm an old little Southern, so.
I thought he made a good Lex Luthor in Superman Returns.
Okay, see here y'all
Comic
gonna keep
comic books.
We're taking over your show.
Right. You know what? Y'all about to have to go on somebody else's podcast with that.
Okay.
Well, I think there's something else that we need to discuss that's pretty controversial that he doesn't know about.
What do I not know about? Enlighten me, please.
Well, before we go to that though, can we ask what's been your craziest PR issue that you've had to resolve?
Okay.
Or most memorable.
Let's see. Okay, so my first
murder.
Oh, Jesus. All right.
I like the way he's thinking though.
God forbid. All right.
Give me the juicy stuff.
I am not Viola Davis. All right. This is not How to Get Away with Murder. All right.
She was a lawyer.
She was a lawyer. She was a lawyer. That's right. She was a lawyer. So I guess I should have referenced Olivia Pope. Yeah. I think I guess it was the craziest situation that I've had as related to public relations. I don't know if I've necessarily had a crazy situation, but what I will say is the very first public relations job that I had, I was blessed to work for the Salvation Army of Orlando. Wonderful organization. I worked with a lot of wonderful people. A few years ago, back when I was still handling PR for the organization, there was a elderly woman who was sexually assaulted on the premises. And
of the Salvation Army?
So the Salvation Army in Orlando has it's massive, you know. So they have an after-school program for disadvantaged children. They have a drug rehabilitation center. They had high rises for low-income seniors.
Wow.
Homeless shelters for men, women, and children. So the Salvation Army, you know, very dedicated organization, very much committed to helping those in need. In the high-rise buildings for low-income seniors, there was a woman that was sexually assaulted by a man that had no business being on the property. He actually just, you know, walked into the building and, you know, whatever happened. So I was actually at Universal Studios at the Islands of Adventure, about to go on the Jurassic Park ride with my then girlfriend. And I got a call from the Salvation Army CEO saying, you know, this is what has happened. And Jaylen, we need your assistance because, you know, the news found out about it. There are 5 news stations in Orlando. I'm born and raised in Tallahassee, Florida. Only 2 in Tallahassee.
Tallahassee.
2 in Tallahassee, but 5 in Orlando. And I had to deal with all 5 of them with rapid fire questions. I was always taught that when a crisis presents itself, whenever you're doing public relations for a crisis, it is important to respond to it fast. However, it is more important to be accurate. So before I can issue a statement to the reporters, I need to know the facts. So I was able to speak with the CEO and find out what happened before I was able to craft a statement to issue to reporters. We issued the statement to reporters. That took place that Sunday. However, that Monday morning, all 5 of those news stations were on the Salvation Army's property trying to learn more. So I had to prep the CEO to go before those reporters to give, you know, an in-depth interview. So, you know, whenever a crisis takes place, you know, I'm all about, you know, telling the truth, being accurate, but I'm also about solutions. Okay, so what is the solution? How do we fix this? All right. So cameras are now installed. There is, you know, a security guard. The victim, she did not want to press charges. She did not want to, take the Salvation Army to court or anything like that. So that's a positive that I could use in my story. The guy that did this was immediately apprehended, so I can use that in my story. So those were the things that, you know, I was able to help in crafting a message and, you know, give our CEO those talking points. So another thing that I would advise for any public relations practitioner or any celebrity or what have you is, okay, let's say that you've garnered some negative attention, all right? You're a PR person, you're a legal person, you all have, you know, come together to put together a communication strategy. You've owned up to your mistake. Now, once you've fixed it and rectified it, then invite the media back, like invite the reporters back so you can show them, okay, let's not leave my story on a negative note. Let's end it on a positive note because now I've come up with a solution, and I'm implementing the solution, and I'm getting positive
And you're
results.
controlling the narrative too.
Precisely.
Come
That's
on,
right.
Jay.
So when that happened at the Salvation Army, once we came up with the solution, about a month or so later, I invited those same reporters back to see, what it was that what we've done, what we've accomplished since then to make sure that something like this does not happen. Now, as we both know, people tend to prefer negative stories over positive ones. There's a quote in the public relations world that, if it bleeds, it leads. All right. So those 5 news stations showed up for the story back when it was negative, but out of those 5, only 2 showed up to cover the positive.
Come on, man.
But we were still able to get some positive coverage from that.
I don't even pay him, and I want to give you a raise.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for that.
You just blew my mind.
I appreciate that. Thank
I feel
you.
like you are like the Iyanla of like PR.
Stop. No.
Y'all don't fix my PR.
Yeah.
Fix my image.
I want to be. That's very nice of the two of you to say that, but I do want to be clear about something. I am a firm believer that no one gets anywhere without a little help. All right. So I learned something new about public relations every single day.
Come on, Jay.
So when I joined, when I started my career in public relations, I immediately joined the Public Relations Society of America. Because whenever issues like this take place, I am able to go to that organization and ask my colleagues and our other individuals that work in the public relations professional for best practices and things that they would do, and then bouncing ideas off of them and vice versa has helped me grow as a public relations professional. So
Nice.
no one gets anywhere without a little help.
You dope, man.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you for that.
Well, let's jump back into some messiness.
Let's talk about the messiness.
So you can clean it up. Like you done
Yes.
help clean up Terrence.
Let's
You done
talk
help
mess.
clean up Salvation Army. All right. So we're going to talk about the big subpoena moment.
The big subpoena. Oh.
Yes.
Kyla, that's you.
Yeah, look at me.
That's a nice photo.
Hey.
You serving it
Who
up.
took that photo?
Who? I think it was me. I do believe it was me. You can't get that at Olin Mills, my
You
friend.
can't.
You can't.
Do you know
Can't.
about Olin Mills? Do y'all have that here in Orlando?
Yeah.
Olin Mills. You took it back.
I took it back a little bit.
Oh my
did.
gosh. So
I did.
let's talk about this big subpoena.
All right,
Let's
so
do it.
let me just show him one image first.
Yes.
Okay.
And I want you to tell me off the top of your head,
Okay.
what do you think is going on in this image?
Okay.
And then Kyla will school you on it, okay?
Okay.
All right.
All right. Let's
This
do
is
it.
cringy.
Oh my. Are those chains? Are those shackles?
Those are chains, yes. Those are shackles, yes.
Oh my.
So what do you see here,
man.
Jaylen?
Please tell me this is not a wedding photo that they.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yes.
Mm.
Yes.
Wow.
So this is a couple who took slave engagement photos.
Oh, that's not cool.
Is this a PR fail or nah?
This is a PR fail in more ways than one.
First of all, where are they? Is this Florida? I don't even where are you going to where there's still like plantations type?
What is this?
And
What
who's
is
the
this?
photographer? Who authorized this? Look at this. The caption says 1842. I guess this is the year that they're in. I can't see the bottom of it. Oh, there we go. Days passed and everything changed. Our love got stronger and stronger. He was no longer a slave. He was part of the family. Boy, what?
What?
Where are his
the
parents?
Hell? What is this?
They're probably dead.
They have to be. Because if I was his mama, I'd have been out there with a belt, beating both
Yeah,
of them. This
yeah.
is ridiculous.
Yeah, that's sad.
Oh my good. So I've heard of fantasies when it comes to the bedroom, right? You know what I'm saying? Some
everyone-
bondage play.
Everyone has them.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you keep them in the bedroom,
You keep
right?
them in the bedroom.
But never have I once heard a slave like this type fantasy.
that's kind of sad.
It is.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
I'm okay, I'll say it.
Go
Okay,
ahead.
please do.
I have watched a video like that.
Okay.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. It was
How?
like revenge.
Who was getting revenge? The slave?
Yes.
Oh
It was
no.
like some Nat Turner stuff.
This about to give me some Kevin Spacey vibes again. I can't.
I mean, it was
cannot.
produced. It wasn't like it was real.
No.
Yeah.
Who was it? Was it a white person that produced it? It's
Oh,
in
I have
my
no
mind.
idea.
It cannot be this way.
I have no idea. I didn't look that up when I was done.
Oh my god! And that just slipped out. I'm just saying, it's just certain.
Listen, we're all into things.
Oh,
Variety
man.
is the spice of life. All right.
That ain't my thing.
If we were all the same, where would be the fun in that? However,
true.
I do draw the line at wedding photos depicting slavery. That's
That's odd to me.
It is a little odd.
So whose idea do you think it was? Do you think it was her idea or his
I
idea?
feel like it was.
I
It
think
had to be,
I
yo.
think
So
it was
what
her
do you?
idea.
So, hey, babe, I have this great idea.
Yeah.
We can go in the back of the plantation and take some photos. And he's like, okay, sure. What do we do? How about we do a theme? He's like, all right.
Yeah.
Here's some shackles.
Right. I low-key feel like her family owns that plantation where that picture was taken.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Gotta be. Listen, you said in that video you watched it was a black slave and a white woman. Was this the same people?
No.
Okay. I'm about to say, let me know something.
No.
But his dumb ass went along with it. That's what I'm saying.
We gotta stop doing this.
You could have just said no.
Have you
know.
seen Get Out, bro?
Right. And
Exactly.
also, if this is what your wife is into, like, is this the person that you're supposed to be with? Like a plantation photo for your wedding?
Right. I just don't want them to have kids because this is not cool.
They're gonna be
This
some
is-
fucked up children.
They really are. These are fucked up children.
Exactly.
My God, I done cussed. Oh my God.
Sorry. Church tomorrow. Tomorrow's Sunday.
It is.
we'll be
Yes.
in
Okay,
church
so I
tomorrow.
can repent.
Yeah,
That's
we'll
how in
repent.
PR world.
Mhm. That's
Okay.
right. Absolutely.
So as a PR person,
yes.
when you see this, let's say your client already did this and say, hey, oh, bro, I messed up. This is already out on the internet. How can we fix this? But you
Yeah.
can't say spinach, but how can we fix this?
Right.
What do you even say?
So it is 2021, and as we all know, Black Lives Matter,
They do.
and they always have. So I think that let's say I receive a high-profile client that's in need of, my assistance with public relations. And then one of the questions that we always ask our clients is, is there anything we should know before, we dive in? And if this is something that is revealed, then I mean, it's too late for me to do something, to fix it per se, because it's something that's already happened. But what I would do is prepare a statement and talking points in case individuals find out while we're promoting them, because there are some people that will do some, some fact checking and some, investigative research, and they'll be like, oh, okay, well, this client is known for giving, thousands and thousands of dollars, to the Black community. But 10 years ago, did you see this photo of her and her husband? What is this? So that's something that I would have prepared for in advance with a statement or some talking points.
Can you give like a key, could you give like a sentence that you might have given them as a talking point to it to
Lord,
combat this?
I'd have to think, honestly, Kyla.
'Cause
I'd have to think.
The lawyer in me would just be like, "Oh, this was for a movie, like a little fake movie."
But see, that's the thing, though.
And it's not the
That's not the
truth.
truth. That's right. Because if someone found out that it wasn't for a movie, that creates a bigger issue.
Then we gonna have to create a movie.
Yeah.
We just gonna have to create
So
one.
I mean, she could say that she wasn't thinking straight, or that she's changed. People do grow. All right. So
Do they?
I will.
These people ain't grown. They
Well,
are
that's true.
slaves.
That-
It is 2021. They was in 1843 or whatever.
But I feel like there are honestly some individuals that have done stupid shit. Like let's say they did some stupid stuff back in like 2006, 2007. All right, now it's 2021. They might have grown since then, and they may have learned since then. But then sometimes the past has a way of catching up with us. So that person that's in 2021 might not be that same person back in 2007. So if she took a photo like that in 2007, but she's truthfully and honestly remorseful for her decision, then I will try to help that individual, because you didn't know any better. You just made a stupid decision. But if you haven't changed at all, then there's little that I can do to be of assistance to you.
That's real.
Yeah.
Well, I hope they change by 2022.
I hope so too, because I think that's pretty stupid,
It
and
really is.
something
What were
like
they
that.
thinking?
I mean, something like that shouldn't, that's just, that's ridiculous.
Wow. Well, Kyla, where can everybody find you?
Not out there in them fields.
Yeah.
with
Not in the
them
fields.
people.
Not in the fields.
Mm-mm,
Not in the
not out
fields.
there.
We're not picking cotton.
Period.
That's not what we're doing.
Yes.
That's not what we're doing.
all.
No, it's not what we're doing.
So we talked about it a little bit earlier, the fact that I own my own law firm.
Yes,
I work
you
for
do.
myself.
You do.
So if you
It's-
would like to find me,
It's spectacular.
well, thank you. You can
Yeah.
go to colemanlaw.net. Also, you can find me on social media, which is just my personal social media, kicking the bucket with people, chatting, hanging out. It's Kyla A. Coleman on Facebook. And then on IG, it's Kai_life. So Kai Life. So come hang out with me.
Kyla A. Coleman.
And
Yeah.
Jaylen, where can everybody find you?
Please say the A.
Please say the
Please
A.
say
Baby,
the
I
A,
worked
baby.
hard for that.
Please say the A, baby. Yes, yes. Where can people find me? Okay, so I am active on Twitter and I am active on Instagram. I am my handle is at the Superfly Nerd. So yeah, like if you follow me, I promise you I will follow you back. But
And
yeah,
you will laugh because Jay's account is hilarious.
Yes. So I'm gonna warn you now. It's not professional. Yeah. It's
We're
not.
just
it's not-
hanging out.
Yeah, we're just hanging out. So I might, give a few PR tips on my Twitter and my Instagram, but it's also gonna be some ratchetness as well.
And you also praise God too.
And I also praise it's an eclectic mix.
This how I know he in PR.
Yes.
Them words he used. Eclectic.
Mix. Yes, but I never go overboard.
That part.
Yes. So please follow me. Yeah.
Hey, well, Jay, thank you for coming today. I
Yes,
appreciate it.
this
I
was
appreciate
fun.
you cleaning up all the messiness with the plantation photos. And who was the lady y'all mentioned in that movie with Jason?
Amber Heard.
It was Amber.
Amber with the red hair.
Yeah, with the red head.
Johnny Depp explaining that and then
Mhm.
handling Terrence Howard's messiness.
Which I'm so surprised by. I had no idea.
Yeah.
That was going on with Terrence. So that's news to me.
Good PR agent. You gonna come back and join us
PR.
again one day?
Absolutely.
Hey.
Absolutely. No questions asked. It's fun.
Aight. So the music finna take us on out. We about to dance.
Mm.
And we might get some drinks. I need some crown.
I need some crown.
Till then, café con leche.
Apple.
Hey.
Not peach.
Hey.
Hey.
We'll see you guys later.